Therapist Reacts! Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist. I want to talk about the Simone Biles situation as well as what's been going on in our Olympic Games and how people are responding online. And I'd actually like to lead out just by reading a Facebook post from Todd Herman, who is a coach and an entrepreneur and mental health advocate, and I just thought this was brilliant. So actually I want to share with you what he says, and then I want to react to that and to everything that's going on. So he starts by saying, over the last 24 hours, I've had 56 messages from athletes, coaches seeking help at the Olympics. By the way, I'll put the link for this down below. These 2021 games are a mental health nightmare. In the 21 years working with athletes at the Olympic Games, I've never seen more stress and anxiety. The individual sport athletes are having the hardest time behind the scenes. I feel very bad for Simone Biles. She's such a phenomenal athlete and an incredibly kind human despite the vitriol she can be on the receiving end of. The source of her issues and many other athletes right now is the toxic nature of social media. I was just texting with ABC News and I said, it feels like we're holding athletes together with duct tape and Gorilla Glue right now. The Olympic Games are just a microcosm of society. If you're seeing some of the most mentally tough, focused, and disciplined people on the planet fall prey to pressure, what about the regular Joes and Janes of society? They don't have the same level of skill at coping with the toxic levels of opinion, rhetoric, and hateful commentary online. The antidote is always the same: be more kind. If you do watch the Olympic Games, tweet or comment to the 8th place person that they're inspiring, not just the gold medalist. Send a message to the person that didn't even make it to the final heat that you appreciate all the effort they put into getting to the Olympics, and thanks for making our country or your country proud. These athletes are getting bombarded with some pretty mean stuff because they let an entire nation down, or thanks for making me stay up late just to watch you lose. Something's got to give when it comes to people's behaviors online, and maybe this post can be a little reminder to encourage everyone, not just the winners. Because they sure need it right now. The conditions inside the Olympic Village aren't fun or healthy for most. By the way, I chose this photo of Simone to celebrate her brilliance and not the photos being shared in media and news stories of her looking stressed. I chose to see her this way, free, strong, and graceful, because that's what she is. Okay, so let's talk about this. I am not an expert on the Simone Biles situation. I've read some news stories, I've read some opinion pieces. I don't know enough to authoritatively sound off. What I will say is that she's one of the greatest athletes in the world. That is proven. That is indisputable. And her ability under pressure over years is also proven and indisputable. She can do things that literally nobody else can do, to the point where they said, we're not going to count when you do these things that nobody else can do because it's not fair to everybody else. They'll hurt themselves trying, which I think is ridiculous, by the way. That's like telling Michael Jordan, we're not going to let you jump and slam dunk from the free throw line because nobody else can do it. And if you do it, we're not going to count it. I mean, that's just asinine. We are talking about a woman who, while competing, while training, while dedicating her life to this, endured sexual harassment, sexual assault, uncovered a coach who for years and decades had been doing all this garbage and stood against him along with other gymnasts. We're talking about somebody who is proven, and she's saying, I can't do this anymore. And Todd Herman talks about this year's Olympics is a mental health nightmare, worse than he's ever seen in 21 years. And we're gonna blame the athletes? I mean, that's interesting. The fact is, none of us knows what it's like because none of us is there. And we could say, well, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Yeah, but I'm not an Olympic athlete and I didn't dedicate my life to this and they should be able to do this and they should be able to do that. Let me tell you, that anger isn't getting you anywhere. It's not serving you. That judgment isn't making you a better person. And it's not righteous anger. It's just ignorance. We don't know what the heck we're talking about unless we've been an Olympic athlete. It won't kill us to show compassion. For some of us, our patriotism gets in the way of our compassion. And that's not patriotism. That's not the patriotism I would want to subscribe to. Not just our country, but all over the world. People expect patriotic loyalty, right? Don't ask what your country can do, ask what you can do for your country. It's a beautiful sentiment. And it's not just a beautiful sentiment, it's a beautiful principle. But like any virtue, it can be a vice if carried to an extreme. I think of military veterans in our country and in countries around the world who put their lives on the line, who suffer, who go through extreme hardship and harshness and difficulty, who risk death, and also take life, which we don't talk about enough, about how, it's not the dying that is, it's the killing. Actually, it's both. It can be incredibly traumatic. and then we don't take care of them afterwards. And I look at our Olympic athletes. What are the Olympic committees doing to see to their mental health, to see to their stability? Or are we just expecting them to give and to give and to give and to give? It reminds me of that line in The Bourne Identity of the assassins who have nothing and who are depressed and anxious and experiencing PTSD. And the line that is thread through that entire Bourne trilogy is, look at this, look what they make you give. We need greater compassion. Yes, in our organizations, sure, military, Olympic committees, all across the board, if we're asking people to give a lot, we need to give a lot to them. But also just us at home. We're asking people to give a lot for us to represent our countries. What do we give to them? I love Todd Herman's point of reaching out to the person who placed 8th or who didn't make the final heat and saying, thank you for all you've done. Thank you for all your effort. Thank you for representing. You make us proud. If you find yourself needing to lash out at a stranger online because they've somehow hurt you, you need to check your priorities, because you have not walked a mile in their shoes. You don't know what they're going through. And the fact is, that bitterness, that anger, it's not serving you. If we want loyalty from people, we need to treat them in a way that inspires loyalty. And what does that look like? It looks like persuasion. It looks like suffering with them, having compassion with them, mourning with them. It's kindness, right? It's not hypocrisy. It's showing love towards people who are having a hard time, showing kindness. Simone Biles, you're probably not watching this, but if you are, I support you. You need to do what you need to do for your mental health, for your sake. Yes, you have an obligation to your teammates, to your country, but we have an obligation to you as well. And if we're not supporting you, if we're not serving you, the human mind can only take so much. I think you're great. I support you. I'm Jonathan Decker with Mended Light. If you enjoyed this video, I want you to check out the NBA star cheating, not scandal, but about how he apologized after the cheating scandal, how he apologized to his wife and he wants to make it right to her. That's another sports-related story we have. What makes for a good apology or not, and how can you heal after infidelity? Here at Mended Light, we want your light to shine before the world. And if that light is fading or going out, we want to help you brighten it up again, help you find yourself again. If you enjoy what we're doing here, please like, subscribe, click the bell so you get notified of our latest videos. Once again, I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist, signing off.